Hello friends and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be hanging out in Kissimmee, also in Orlando, checking out the locations where roadside attractions once stood. One being Jungleland Zoo here in Kissimmee, another one being Skull Kingdom, and right across the street we also saw IFLY, one attraction that was there, no longer here. Neither of the attractions no longer here. Right near Skull Kingdom there is what's known to be Orlando's most haunted place. It is in a Super 8 motel. It is room 206. I'm inviting you to come join me and let's go have a wonderful day. This is 4576. This was the home right over here of Jungleland Zoo, and let me show you a couple of photographs that I found online of the alligator. Here it is right over here. Look, there's the alligator right there. And I was trying to figure out exactly where the alligator stood, and I think I have a good idea. But here's a photograph of the alligator back then. You can see in the background on the left hand side over there, you can see Gator Inn, and then obviously you can see the building over there with the rock formation. A little bit different. The rock formation has a little bit different paint of coat, but let me go ahead and change the photograph here and show you a different one, a better colorful one. There is the alligator there. And as I mentioned before, it was known to be the largest alligator. And you can actually see some other animals like you can see a gorilla, you can see an elephant there. You can also see a bear. There's the car, there's the Jeep over there with the man kind of dangling out the door of the Jeep. Kind of funny. That's a pretty nice picture right there. And I think I have another one. There it is. Here's another closer look at the alligator. Big, huge alligator. Guy freaking out, jumping out the Jeep. But let's go ahead and take a closer look. I think I can pretty much match up where the alligator was. And I found the photograph online. Not actually online. It was Google Maps that I saw. And let me go ahead and show you why I have a good idea as to where this alligator was. If you look at Google Maps, it is directly in front of the actual driveway into the attraction, Jungleland Zoo. So as you're driving in, you pretty much come across that huge alligator. Right over here. So you would actually drive along US 192, and it kind of pulled into this driveway here, and pretty much in the smack middle of it you would run into the alligator. And as a matter of fact, I think that I can pretty much tell this is where it was as well, because of the different coloration of the asphalt, of the concrete. Over here you can see how it kind of goes around this way like that. I don't know if you can see it, but it kind of goes around this way. So this is exactly where the alligator stood at one time, right over here. And you see right here, you can see a line, right? So there was definitely a change here, somewhere along, somewhere in time. The photograph that I showed was from 2007. I believe on Google Maps, back in 2011 is when you stopped seeing the big alligator, but this is where it stood at one time. And obviously it came all the way to back here. If you can see over here, the discoloration kind of ends right over here. So, it just leads me to believe that this right here is where the alligator stood. All this right here. All this right here. Obviously, there is no remnant of it, and that's fine. And I kind of wish that I could have been here. I lived here while this alligator was still there, but I moved here, and I never even thought of being, actually I didn't live here, but I never thought of being a YouTuber, obviously. So even if I did live here, I probably wouldn't been able to actually film it, but I probably would have visited the attraction. You never know. But anyway, that's where the alligator stood. And then here they're obviously they're doing some type of remodeling. And again, you see the Crush Bra Park here, and obviously they're taking over the property. and I cannot go past this fence. Obviously it says over there no trespassing, so I won't. But over here you have, it smells pretty bad here. Obviously you have some porta pots here, so it doesn't smell quite good. But obviously I cannot cross that fence. No trespassing. I am not going to go to jail. So, but obviously this has seen a facelift as well. Different. The coloration of the rock is different. It's got a little bit of snow on top. Pretty cool. I'm gonna walk around that way and see what I find. You can see here they have all these little houses here. They look like containers, shipping containers that were reused for, and they turn them into little houses. Got windows on there. That's pretty cool. And if you look back there, there's like a big, huge cat. I wonder if that's like a stuffed real animal there, but you can see here, they're taking over there. Sooner or later, this is gonna be something very interesting that probably will come over here and kind of film, document. But here, you know, I'm not gonna cross over there, just not gonna do it. But you can see from here, maybe you can't see on camera, but you can see from here that it is empty in there. And you can actually see some of the plants that they have for this property here. See that there? And you know, people would obviously enter through here for the attraction. Would have been nice to have been able to come here at one time. Let me see if I can find some online photographs of the actual attraction in there. See if I can find any. Just kind of sitting here in my car. It is hot out there, so decided to come in my car and get some air conditioning. But you can see here on this website, Urbex Hub, Jungleland Zoo. It does state here that it closed its doors back in 2002, and they do have some photographs back there. Obviously, at this point, it's been abandoned, and it also went by a different name. It states here that it went by Alligator Safari Zoo, which actually had a lot of issues with the USDA, and which is United States Department of Agriculture. And it looks like they had several violations here. And, you know, they were hit up with some fines and so forth. It says here, Browning, which was the owner, was issued with a fine of $1,500, which he refused to pay. Obviously, when you refuse to pay, sorry, I'm all tongue-tied, but when you refuse to pay the government, that's not a good situation. Never is a good situation. In 1995, Jungleland Zoo opened with 300 exotic animals. This time, including African leopard, Bengal tigers, wow, cool, African caracal, a pair of Himalayan bears, Siberian tiger. Wow, pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. It says here, in 1997, Jungleland Zoo went on to make national headline when Nala, a 450-pound lion, escaped from her cage. Oh my goodness. Wow. And I think some of the violations that they were hit up with was because the enclosures, or the, you know, the gates and the cages of the animals weren't tall enough. Obviously, a 450-pound lion escaped. Wow, unbelievable. It says there, it says, a helicopter with infrared cameras was scrambled, and more than 200 USDA agents armed with tranquilizer guns searched the nearby area. I'm assuming they caught it. I don't want to go into reading the whole thing, but I'm pretty sure they caught the lion. Pretty amazing. And over here at the bottom, you can see more photographs there, as it was abandoned. Let's kind of go over here. Here's the front. There's more photographs there. Would have been pretty cool to come over here and checked out the zoo, all these exotic animals that they had here. Would have been pretty cool. Whoops. Amazing. So yeah, it was right there. All of that right there. And the alligator stood right there. So yeah, this was the location of Jungleland Zoo. Another attraction that came and is now gone. Back in June 13, 1997, a roadside attraction opened up here in Orlando, Florida, on this corner of Universal Boulevard and I Drive. This very corner here stood almost 20 years, Skull Kingdom. And this is what Skull Kingdom looked like. This is the entrance. You could not have missed this building here. It had a huge skull there in the front. This is the entrance to the roadside attraction here in Orlando, but it was here almost 20 years, and I'm gonna kind of walk around and see if there's anything that I can find from Skull Kingdom. This was actually the parking lot for the attraction. Back in the day, the IHOP was here, and there was another shopping center right behind the IHOP, but you can kind of tell over here that there was a walkthrough that led into the attraction as you parked right out here. And this is it right over here. You can see how there's a continuation, and it kind of stops right over here, obviously at the fence line. And this, I'm wondering what this is for. This right over here, this conduit that's running across this driveway, and I'm assuming there's an electrical box right over here. Maybe there was some type of signage over here, and that's what that was used for. But this is it right here. This is where it comes to an end. Obviously you have all of this that is pretty much overgrown. But yeah, there was an attraction here for almost 20 years, and this was more of a haunted kind of walkthrough. And this is another building that, even though I visited Orlando, Florida from Miami, you know, for vacation and coming to Walt Disney World, this is a building that I don't remember seeing. And I'm not gonna walk back there. It looks very dangerous, but it looks like there's some homeless people that kind of live in there. And there's actually a big, huge round metal wheel there. Wondering if that has anything to do with the park. But obviously, I'm not gonna walk back there. But I'm gonna walk around the sidewalk over here, and I'm gonna walk on the other side of the property to see if I can kind of see anything. And here is a picture of Trevor Thompson. Right over here, you can see Skull Kingdom there in the background. This is a video that I found on YouTube where he's kind of promoting the business. Here's a photograph that I found online where it's actually showing Wet n Wild right there in that corner. But you can also see the huge tower there in the back. I got to take a look at the name. I forgot the name of this big hotel there, the tower. But you can see the IHOP right here, right there. You can see the IHOP right down there, and then right behind it is an empty lot. Obviously, you can see how it's overgrown now, but it's still empty. I read that they had sold it to build an apartment complex there. Obviously, that never happened. But yeah, you can see the IHOP there, but no Skull Kingdom. Pretty cool. And then Wet n Wild. I'm gonna make a video on Wet n Wild eventually. But yeah, that's it right there. There used to be a skydiving attraction over there in that corner, and then obviously we have Wet n Wild over here. But I couldn't find any other photographs that kind of showed anything else other than the front of the actual Skull Kingdom. I did read some articles on how it was kind of difficult for, you know, those who were coming here to visit the attraction, on how if they actually missed the wrong turn, if they were coming along this right here, or they were making a left turn on I Drive, actually on Universal Boulevard, if you didn't actually go straight, there was no entrance over here. And this ramp obviously will lead you over to Universal Studios. but there is no entrance to the attraction on this side. So if you missed the turn, you had to go all the way across, make a U-turn, and come back. And I'm pretty sure that was a turnoff for a lot of people. So pretty much, I'm all the way up here. And just as I expected, there was no way I was going to be able to see anywhere past those trees. Obviously, it's been a while since they closed down, so it's overgrown over here. I mean, tremendously. But like I said, you know, if you actually missed a turn, there was no way for you to kind of turn around unless going all the way over there. You can't make a U-turn there. You have to drive even past that, and then you can kind of come back to this area here. You know, obviously, as you can see, there's been changes during, you know, all these years. And I think this was actually the ramp. And so if you missed that entrance, right? If you missed a turn, then you actually ended up on Interstate 4, which is definitely not a good thing. And right over here, this is where the skydiving attraction was, which I do remember seeing that. I don't remember seeing Skull Kingdom. And here's a photograph that I found online of Skull Kingdom here on the right, but here is the skydiving tower that I was telling you. I don't remember the name of it, but I remember it being right over here. I'm assuming this is where the building is, right over here somewhere. I remember seeing it. Obviously, coming from Universal, kind of coming over this, you would come across the skydiving building right over there, and then obviously you will see Wet n Wild over there. So I did find some photographs online, and it showed where IFLY was, and IFLY was the name of the attraction, which I did not know. So here is the photograph. It actually stands, or it actually stood where this hotel used to be, and you can still see right there on the left hand side the Walgreens, which is still here, but that's where the IFLY attraction was at one time. Remember it so many times passing by and seeing it. And here's a clearer picture right there as it's being dismantled. I believe the other photograph was, but you can see right there. Let me go ahead and show you how much of a headache it is to actually access this IHOP. And if it was like this back then I can imagine how it could have drastically decreased the people visiting the attraction. So over here, if you go straight, you can't make a U-turn until you get to the traffic light. If you do make a U-turn at the traffic light and you miss that right, you also get another opportunity over here. However, if you do turn here, you have a medium. So you turn there and then you have to go all the way over there, make a U-turn to come in here. So that is a nightmare. And then if you miss that one and you miss this one, guess what? You're making a right. And guess where it takes you? To I-4 or to Universal Studio. So that's what happened to me actually, and I had to go through all of that. So I'm speaking from experience. All right, so far I've showed you where Skull Kingdom was located, right behind this IHOP here. But now I'm gonna kind of walk around to the other side of the field to see if I can see anything. Probably won't, but let's see. You know, like I stated before, coming over here to this IHOP is a nightmare. So just letting you know, so if you do plan to come to this IHOP, which I wouldn't recommend either because of so many people that come over here to eat, it is packed in there. Just beware of making wrong turns, or missing turns for that matter. So obviously on this side, we get to see a better view of the field that was once called Skull Kingdom, and also the shopping center that, you know, was pretty much behind the IHOP. So I'm going to show you a photograph of that, but just to kind of look around, there's obviously absolutamente nada, absolutely nothing here that says there was a Skull Kingdom in the past, other than photographs and memories. That's a good thing about photographs. It what do you call it? Preserves memories, right? So there's the field right over there. And as a matter of fact, you know, now that I'm over here, I'm going to go to that hotel over there, which is known to be the most haunted place here in Orlando. There is a room over there on that hotel that a lot of people, I read a lot of magazine articles or online articles that it is haunted. So we're gonna go ahead and check it out. Kind of come across this gate over here, and unfortunately it's locked. Otherwise I would go over there, even though it's probably dangerous, probably snakes over there. But you can see some type of slab of concrete right over there, kind of like you see over here. This slab of concrete also. A couple of electrical boxes, obviously that was used to power up the attraction, but nothing ever happened over here. You know, supposedly they had sold this so they could build something, I think apartments. I'm sure maybe a hotel would have gone nicely over here, just kind of like they're all over the place, being that it's Orlando. But you know, they never did anything over here. Obviously nothing. Not just looking over here, you have this fence that kind of fell over. I'm sure somebody crashed into here, but I do not want to cross over because this is a private property and there's no trespassing. Finally found some shade. But now that I find some shade, I'm gonna take this opportunity to show you a photograph that I found online of Skull Kingdom there. And then right next to it on the right hand side, right behind the IHOP, is that shopping center that I was telling you about. And you can actually see in the background Hotel 6. And over here, you can actually see that right there in that corner. You can actually see this hotel right here. And there is the Hotel 6 that we can see here, the signage for it right there. Background, that other hotel in the background, Skull Kingdom. Man, it would have been nice to go there. At least just to say you went there once. And I wish that building was still up. From Motel 6 to Super 8, we're gonna check out Super 8, which is said to have a room that is the most haunted place here in Orlando, room 206. We're gonna go ahead and check it out. Let's see if I can actually film in that room. So over here, Super 8, room 206. Right over there, there's been reports that people laying in bed feeling the presence of ghosts. People said that they make their bed and then they go to the bathroom or they leave and they come back and it's disorganized. The bed is no longer made. Also, some reports of feeling the bed shaking, like out of the blue. So there's an employee over there. We're gonna go ahead and take a look. Let's see if I can at least peek through the window. There's room 206 right over there. And the window is open. But I don't know if anybody's staying there. But the window is open. The curtains are open. Not the window, the curtains. Let's take a look. It's 206, not this one, but the next one. The air conditioning is on. And there's no one staying in this room at the moment. But that is it right there. Room 206. Some said that they have actually seen the imprint, or the indentation of a person on the bed. So it's kind of weird. There's room 206. Nobody's staying in there at the moment. This is known to be the most scariest place here in Orlando. This room right here. All right, wonderful friends, I'm going to end the video right here. I was able to talk to the clerk there at the front desk and asked her about room 206. She said, I've never heard it, felt it, or seen it. The employee that was downstairs, I asked him about it. I started having a conversation about it to let him know what was actually in the room. And he told me he was staying in room 205 and he's never heard or felt anything. So for all I know, everything that I've read so far can be fake news. They're telling the truth. But anyway, friends, if you like this video, don't forget to smash the like. If you have not subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing. More content like this is coming soon. And I'm going to end this video like I always do. We came, we saw, and we conquered. And do me a favor, have a wonderful day. Peace.